Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video we will discuss Death of a Salesman, a very famous play written by Arthur Miller. Uh, Arthur Miller died just 15 years ago in 2005. So you can say he is a writer of our ages too. He was one of the greatest American playwright of 20th century. His plays they were all super hit all around whatever he wrote, most of his plays. And this Death of a Salesman, it is also one of them. He was born at New York in 1915, 17/11/1915, and he died in 2005. In Wall Street clash, a famous incident of American history, in 1929, his family lost everything, so they had to move. His family was in crisis. And one important thing about his life is he married to a Hollywood actress who was known for her, quite like bold dressing, like not bold dressing, but short dressing, you can say. She was known as a kind of sex symbol in Hollywood. So let's discuss about its summary of the play, The Death of a Salesman. From its name, you can understand that salesman is the one who sells things. Sometimes you are in your home and someone knocks at your door. You just open the door and you see a man, a boy, or a girl standing with lot of cosmetics or some clothes or some other things that they want to sell it. So whatever they sell, they get a commission on it. So this is Death of Salesman. In this play, Willy Loman, he is a salesman, and when the play is written, he is about 63, 64 years old, and his sales are not improving. He is much worried about his sales uh, because he cannot travel anymore due to his age, so his sales are just going down. So Loman, she is wife of Willie Loman, and she is quite an interesting kind of woman. I mean, you can say an ideal woman to be someone's wife. Uh, an ideal wife she is. She is always happy whatever Willie Loman is doing, or whatever Willie is giving to her or in the house. Most of the times, the wives they make lot of uh, demands uh, about things they want to get, or they criticize their husband for their low income. But this Linda woman, she is just always happy, and she always takes care of her husband, just like as a good loyal wife. Biff, his elder son, Willie Loman's elder son, and Happy Loman is his younger son. So when the play starts, uh, Linda woman, she talks to her sons Biff and Happy, and she says that your father, uh, he is not in good senses, because he has attempted suicide 2 times already due to the problems, the financial problems he's facing. And his children, like his two sons, they are not giving much money at home. They are not earning that much amount, so they are not in a position to help their father. So their electricity bills, their utility bills, their house mortgage, house, the installments of the house, they are all pending and they are increasing. So it is all putting pressure on Willie Loman. uh, as far as Biff is, so she tells her two sons that be kind to your father, be good to your father, because he has already, attempted suicide twice. She says she's much worried about him. So do not say anything to him, or do not go into argument, or do not try to break him with any misbehavior. And Uncle Ben, he's Willie Loman's elder brother who is dead. Uh, Uncle Ben, he was, you know, uncle of Biff and Happy, but he was Willie's elder brother. So Ben, he started a business at the age of 17 years old, started traveling to Africa and Alaska in a business of diamonds, and he became a very successful businessman and he earned a lot of money. But at present, when the play is going on, he is dead and he comes into the imaginations of Willie. Like sometimes he talks to his dead brother in his imaginations. So most of the times, Willie lives in past. Sometimes he is talking to his dead brother. Sometimes he is talking to himself. So his mental condition is not good because of his declining sales, problems of financial problems of the house. So all these things, they are adding too much worries for Willie. Now this Charlie is neighbor of Willie. Charlie is running a business, and he's a rich man. He's friend of Willie, and Willie, whenever he wants to take money, he wants to borrow some money, he wants to lend some money, he goes to Charlie and he asks him to give me some money as loan. So he lends money from Charlie at times, and Charlie never refuses him. He always gives him money. Once Charlie offered him job also, Willie, because Charlie thinks that Willie is a good salesman. So he offers him a job, but Willie, he rejects it. Although his own job is not going well, and about his job, he is not doing job on monthly or fortnightly salary. He is a commission agent. So as I already told you about sales, that it depends upon how many products they sell. So whatever the quantity they sell, they get a percentage of profit over it, 5% or 3% or 10%, whatever is allocated by the company. So Charlie offers Willie a good job, but Willie refuses because Willie believes that Charlie is, he lacks practicality. Thinks Charlie lacks practicality because Charlie talks about bookish knowledge, and Willie believes that bookish knowledge has nothing to do with human life. It's all about practical knowledge. So here is Willie's understanding is based on two extremes. Like if he is practical, he must consult some books too. The two things, they go side by side: bookish knowledge and your experience and practical knowledge. But once you keep busy yourself in completely practical knowledge, it means you are not getting anything from bookish knowledge. You cannot be a successful person. So both the things, one must be flexible to both sides. But Willie believes he is a practical man and he is superior to Charlie. Just the difference between Willie thinks that the difference between him and Charlie is that Charlie is a rich man, and that's it. So now what happens that this Biff, he is working somewhere in the field. The elder son of Willie, he works in fields. He comes to his house when he's been told by his mother that his father has attempted suicide twice. So he believes that he will not leave the house, he will stay there. He will start a new business, a business of shoes. He will start a new business his own, and he gives this idea to Happy and to his father Willie, and Willie becomes so happy. Now the problem was that where he would get that money to start his business. So Biff tells that he will go to his boss, the previous boss. uh, his name, I just forgot his name. He will uh, give him some money as loan. He will lend some money from him. So Willie, very excited. He became very excited that his son is going to start a business, and he tells him some techniques, some useful tricks and techniques that how to get money from your father because he's a salesman. So he gives him some techniques. So in the meanwhile, Willie also says that he will go to uh, his own boss and will ask him to increase his commission, to increase his commission or to his salary. And one more request he would put forward to his boss, that he's an old man and it's very difficult for him to move far away from the city, so his job should be restricted within the city, so it would be much easier for him to do his job. So both of them, the Biff, he goes to his boss to take money as loan to start a business, and Willie goes to his own boss, whose name is Howard Wagner. Howard Wagner is son of Frank Wagner. Frank Wagner was his previous boss, who is dead now. His son Howard Wagner, he has taken the charge of the company. So Willie goes to Howard Wagner and he says, tries to convince him that he's an old man and it's very difficult for him to uh, accommodate with so much traveling. So help him to assign him some duties within the city, and also increase some commission or some salary or money for him. But Howard Wagner, he not only refuses but also insults him. Like, he says that he's an old man, your sales are not improving, and instead of giving him loan, he fires him, fires him from his job, kicks off. So it was Willie, when he made too many requests to his boss Howard Wagner, he became irritated. Not irritated, but he thought for his company that this man is not giving any good to him, so he simply fires him from the job. And in the meanwhile, Biff, who has gone to his boss to take some money on loan to start his business of shoes, he is being refused. He is also refused. Now, both of them, Biff and Happy, they had decided before one day when they were going to their bosses, both the father and the son. So the two sons, they had decided to celebrate, because they were quite confident that Biff will get loan from his boss, and definitely Willie will get some relaxation from his boss, and they will celebrate it in a hotel. So all the arrangements, they were done for the two sons and the father. But when their father comes and he tells that his boss has fired him from job, so Happy tells Biff that we should not spoil the mood of our father, and we should hide that Biff has also been refused to get money from his boss. So do not waste do not spoil our happiness. Let's celebrate it. So they are in the hotel. They are discussing. In the meanwhile, the two women, they come there. They are like prostitutes, and both the brothers, Biff and Happy, both of them, they go with him go with them, leaving their father in the hotel. So it is a misbehave with their father. Bernard is Charlie's son, who is a well known lawyer. So now Willie, he meets Charlie in his office when he was fired, to take some loan from Charlie, where he sees Bernard, and he remembers that Bernard and his elder son Biff both were in the high school, they were together. And he also feels some he's disappointed that Bernard has become great lawyer, a famous lawyer, a established lawyer, and his own son Biff is not doing anything. He could not do anything. Now he also believes that Willie also believes that he was actually the hurdle, or he created actually problem in Biff's life when he was in high school. Now what happened at that time, when Biff was in his high school, his result was announced, and he was failed in one subject, that was mathematics. So he went to a city, Boston, to tell his father Willie, where he was doing job. He goes there to tell him that he could not qualify in mathematics, subject of mathematics. When he goes to Willie's room in a hotel, he sees that there is a woman, Willie's girlfriend, an extramarital affair. So before that, Willie was an ideal man for Biff. For his son, his father Willie was an ideal man. But when he saw his infidelity and his extramarital affair, and he thought that his father is a cheater. He is cheating to his mother. and he started following his father too, like going to women and enjoying life and all that. Willie also remembers in the beginning of the play, he also remembers his good days of business when he was earning too much. Whenever he comes home, all his family members, they kept waiting for him, and he used to bring lot of things at home. uh, Now the woman, one woman, the name is not mentioned, that who was Willie's former lover, and it is only Biff who knew that Willie had an affair in his youth. So Willie, now play moves on. They are disappointed. Now Linda, the wife of Willie, she criticizes and she scolds her two sons, Happy and Biff, for misbehaving with their father, like leaving him alone in the hotel and going with the women. So she scolds them. But Willie, in the meanwhile, at it is the time of midnight. He goes outside his home, and there he tries to sow some seeds, like in his own garden. Uh, a kind of plot, a kind of garden, small garden, which is usually, different plants, they are planted in the houses. So he goes there, and there he starts talking to his dead brother Ben, who had traveled to Africa and Alaska, and he did a business of diamond at the age of 17. He start talking to him that how his brother was very successful. In the meanwhile, Biff follows his father in the lawn where he was sowing some seeds. So Biff, he starts crying after discussing with his father that you are an unsuccessful man, so am I. That both of them, they are unsuccessful and they could not do anything in their lives. And he also says to his father that you should not be running after your own thoughts or to your own American dream. uh, Instead of, you should live in this, leave idealism and come into real life. And Biff also starts crying because they are all disappointed. Willie, he starts thinking about 20,000 US dollars. 20,000 US dollars was the insurance money, life insurance money of Willie. Now he believes that while living, he couldn't do anything for his family. So, if not living, after his death, he could be very useful for his family. So at the night, he starts his car, and he rushed towards the door, towards the road. He starts moving, in his car, drives his car away. Linda is much worried that why he has gone, and in the next scene, they say that he met an accident. Willie Loman, and he died. And in his funeral, his family members, Charlie and Bernard, they were present. And Linda talks to herself, and he says that why he lost his life, because now all the house installments, they have been paid, and all the bills, they are cleared, they are all paid. So from where they paid it all from his insurance money that he they got from his after his death. So that is all about this death of a salesman.